All right. Uh, it is back in my day. No gym partner today, unfortunately. For whatever reason, he scheduled his oil change today at a Walmart in a different city instead of doing it at the Walmart in this city, so we could head straight from his oil change to here, or even drop off his car for said oil change, and I would just drive him to the gym. But is what it is. No gym partner today. Back in my day. I'll go ahead and get started on some single arm pull downs. And what I love about this is because these two cables are separated by a pulley, I can kind of do a cross body and get an even deeper stretch. Oof. Oof. Not to pat myself on the back too much, but I think bro's about to miss out on pretty dang good back in bod pump. I will say, I think Planet Fitness is the hardest place to film gym content because I feel like most people here do not want to end up on camera. Plus, they do have you're allowed to film, but it has to be yourself. Yeah, you gotta, so I gotta be very intentional. Not that I'm not normal, but very intentional with not ending up with anyone else in frame, and especially in this cable area where the cardio machines are right behind you, as you can tell. It's hard not to accidentally end up with someone. So sorry if the angles kind of suck today, or if some of them repeat. Just really hard not to film other people in the gym. I'm trying to be very intentional and respectful. All right, we're gonna move these handles over to this double pulley row and kind of use the same philosophy. Ooh. All right, so same as that pull down that we just used. This is a double pulley system. So I have two separate pulleys here doing two different things. So the idea here is to take advantage of going across the body and being able to get a slightly deeper stretch than I would if I just put like a straight bar on or something and just hammered out some rows, or even compared to here, right? When I am starting here, that lat is wrapping around my body and getting a slighter, deeper stretch. So there definitely is a benefit to these double pulley rows and pull downs. The first time I ever came to this gym, I hated it if these doubles were the only ones open, because hooking up a straight bar to them, especially for say the pull down, all of a sudden you got this stabilization issue because you have 2 points where the cables are pulling against the bar, and it kind of just feels a little janky. But take advantage of them to do what I'm doing now. This philosophy behind what I'm doing and the training, I actually freaking love these. So in terms of getting a good back pump by using a D handle and using each pulley, utilizing each pulley by themselves, fantastic. Putting a straight bar on here to do anything like that kind of sucks. Definitely use the other ones with just a single pulley on them. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Alright, I said these, and then we'll get into our first bicep exercise, which I'm debating if I want to just lay down with these on here and take like a lying row machine curl that we do sometimes, because it kind of emulates doing like a strict curl, so like against a wall while wearing the arm blaster. But in reality, we'll probably just go hit some actual bicep machines. Or we'll get so used to having a gym partner. I'll just go over there and hit some actual bicep machines. Oh yeah. Ooh. I ain't gonna lie, obviously having the job back is great, but this machine is one of the reasons I truly love being back at this gym. Ooh. It's been a while, so I'm not entirely sure what weight to use, but this is one of my favorite preacher curl machines ever. Life Fitness did a phenomenal job with this one. So definitely like it better than the one at Cuba's gym, or even the old Stilwell's gym. Oh yeah, I'm going a little heavier. Almost got 16. Got 15 and like 1/8. So go a little up on the weight. Ooh, I think the absolutely only thing I'm changing about this machine is I'd probably put a yoga mat or something on this so that way I get a little deeper without bottoming out the weight. I don't know if the mic's picking it up, but the weight is bottoming out, which is why I'm getting to the bottom and coming straight back up and not taking a rest, because I don't want to lose that tension on my arms and you take a break mid-set. So I think that's the only downside of this machine. If the handles were just like a smidge, if the handle started just a smidge lower, where like I had to stand up and pick it up to get started, instead of it's bottomed out right here and I can hold it at the bottom of the movement. If I had to get up to start it, and when I sit down, it would unrack the weight and keep it unracked. This machine would be picture perfect in my opinion. So, a few more days. Okay, let's do this. And then we're going to get into probably my favorite bicep machine, just period. This is my favorite bicep curl. but my favorite bicep machine just ever is right behind us. Oh. Okay. Ooh, moving on. And there she is. This. I don't know what it is about it. I absolutely love this machine. The fact that it is a curl machine that can emulate the seated bicep curl. You get the same amount of stretch and everything as just actually doing it with the dumbbells. Phenomenal. I love this machine. I have 0 notes for this machine. Other than I need one in every gym I have access to. All right, we'll lower that a little bit. Move this up a smidge, not that much. And that should be, yeah, that should be perfect. Ooh. Final set of these, and we'll move on. We'll probably do 2 more back exercises and one or 2 more bicep, but I will say biceps are already pretty freaking fatigued, so it might just be 1. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, personally I wanted to use the yellow variation of this machine because I think I get more fun. It's in use, which is kind of the good thing about this gym. Even if a machine's in use, there's typically a variation of it somewhere else. So the only difference is in the 30-minute workout room where the yellow one is, it's not bilateral. I can't do isolated one side at a time if I want to. But then with this one, you're battling trying to stabilize both handles at the same time because they are unilateral. So, whew, is what it is. Still a great machine. I will say, as much as I prefer the yellow version of this machine for the added benefit of not lightening up the load to try to stabilize the handles, the fact that these ones are separate on their own separate pulleys and can be used one at a time means that they converge at the top. So I will say this machine does get a much better stretch than its 30-minute workout room counterpart. Ooh. Oh yeah, I say these, and then frankly, I know this seems to be a theme today, but we're gonna get into my favorite row machine in the area. And you gotta think, especially if you've been watching the channel for a while, I've been at just about every gym in the general area. So I'm gonna say there's a pull down machine I like way better than this one at a different gym. This is not my favorite pull down, but my favorite row is definitely here. Ooh. Moving on. Whew. All right, there's something just so simple yet amazing about this machine, because as you can tell, it has a lot in common with just setting up a normal cable row, from the feet placement to this basically being a handle you could put on a cable row. But this machine just hits my back completely different. Plus, I might be a little biased because I can max it out. But that being said, I've missed this machine. Almost forgot. A few more sets of those. Oof. gonna get the lunker arm set off on me. Whew. All right, one more of these, and then yeah, I'm feeling one more bicep exercise. I will say it will feel a little repetitive to what we've already done, but I think it will be a fantastic finisher. And I do think the machine in here is better for it than the machine out there, but I will not spoil any more than that. It's hard to try to go all out on a machine you're maxing out and not at any point grunt too rad or swim the weight. But luckily this gym, this particular planet, never uses the lunker one. I've had it set off on me twice when it first opened, and they were more into actually doing things the way they're supposed to. But considering this is a very conservative state, we're a red state, Missouri, in a fairly conservative area, and most of the people who work here are gym goers who don't like how Planet Fitness does things. No one ever sets off the lunker one. It's like basically a rule here that we just don't care. So one more exercise and we're out of here. The intensity of this workout has been phenomenal to the point I have a bicep pump, massive forearm pump, massive back pump, because outside the talking I'm doing on camera, kind of just moving the camera and getting right into the next set. The intensity is very much alive because one, new gym, breathing new life into the workouts for the first time in a year. Access to different machines I haven't had access to in years. On a workout I haven't hit here yet since joining. Plus, no gym partner means no one I'm waiting on to finish a set. So I'm kind of unintentionally keeping the intensity super high. Let's move on. All right, like I said, this was going to look super repetitive, but there is definitely a difference between this machine and how it feels and how that machine feels. So that machine has the handle and the pulley system coming from the bottom straight underneath, which feels phenomenal for both arms. But this one, with it coming kind of weirdly from the side, this one's actually really good to lean over and get a single arm preacher curl in. So that's actually why we're back on another preacher curl. I figured some isolated single arm preacher curls would be a really good way to finish, especially after those heavy ones on the purple machine. Ooh. I will say when you're doing the single arm and I can lean back more, I'm not bottoming out like on the purple machine. But if I were to actually sit down and do both arm, then I am running into that issue of bottoming out. But being all the way back here, not an issue. So 2 more sets of those, I think we'll call it a back and by day. Oh, this will be the last set, and I think I'm going to go all out 5 and 5, alternating till failure. Or as many as I can get, alternating to failure, and just go freaking all out on this, which will kind of balance up the fact that I'm doing 3 bicep and 4 back exercises. But in reality, I really don't care about the number of sets or the number of reps. I care about the quality. And the quality has been phenomenal today. I'm exhausted, but I'm happy. So let's get into this last set. We'll call it a workout. Oh my god, that pump is insane. Whew. All right, see you guys in the car. All right, guys, that is another back and by day in the books. And what a back and by day it was. You know, I understand that Planet gets a lot of hate in the bodybuilding community and the fitness industry. And I mean, no offense, but they do earn it. They do earn it. It is kind of well deserved. And I think people, make a lot of good points when it comes to some of the issues they have with Planet. The fact that they would build their identity around, we don't do powerlifting, we don't do bodybuilding, we're a gym for the new gym goers and the new gym members. Every gym is a gym for new gym members, because guess what? You have to walk into one for the first time eventually. Not everyone who works out, not everyone who bodybuilds, not everyone who powerlifts, came out of the womb doing that. With that as like part of their life and part of their identity, right? That's a hobby that one day you're like, I'm going to go into a gym, I'm going to work out for the first time, or I'm going to take up weightlifting in high school, or whatever the case may be, whatever your freaking villain origin story is when it comes to weightlifting. Everyone walks into the gym for the first time at some point. And even Planet, as much as they like to pretend they aren't. Yes, it's a corporate-owned gym, it's a franchise, and it is probably cleaner than most other gyms outside of other franchises. But like, at the end of the day, going to Cuba's gym, that is, owned by a local, and he is very bodybuilder and powerlifter friendly, and he does want to see those kinds of people in his gym, and everyone's welcome.
the environment at Planet doesn't feel any different, other than the fact that I'm consciously like, don't drop the weights, don't grunt too loud, because technically that's like frowned upon. But like the atmosphere, the people in it are no different. Guess what? The basically like mom and pops, locally owned, started by someone who lives in that town, yada yada yada. Gym that I just left to start gymming at Planet. Guess what? It has people who are new to the gym. It has the high schoolers who are deciding to weight train for the first time. It has the grandma and grandpas who are in there to just do cardio to try to like rehab like a bad knee, or to just like be more mobile. It has these people that Planet claims like we are for, because every gym has that. So yeah, I do think the slack is kind of earned in terms of like, oh, we frown upon this and no Uncle Arm and blah blah blah. But one thing I will never frown upon when it comes to Planet is the quality of their machines and the selection of their machines. Because as much as I wish it had more like free weight machines, such as like some Planets were getting like actual plate loaded chest press and like actual like, plate loaded calf raise machines, and they are very machine focused, not a lot of free weight, and even some Planets have been getting like actual squat racks and actual bench presses and like deadlift platforms, and that's awesome. Unfortunately, ours was not one of those. Hopefully, because of where we live, maybe the franchisee, the owner of the space, will maybe hopefully let it become one of those gyms that gets some of that updated equipment, because I think that would really make that Planet boom because of where we live, and it could compete with the other gyms in the area a lot more. But like, I can never like, frown upon their like, the quality of their equipment, because at the end of the day, yes, it's all Life Fitness, and there are definitely better brands than Life Fitness, and there's also just like better machines from other brands. So like, I personally would probably prefer a Panada or an Atlas like pull down or row machine to the Life Fitness ones that are in the Planet. But like, the ones they picked are like good ones. They are like a good selection of what Life Fitness provides. That being said, me and Brandon were talking about yesterday. Life Fitness has different like, levels, different models, different years, everything of like all the same equipment. So, for example, the red quad extension machine and the red hamstring curl machine at the gym we just left, the Get Fit in Cuba, those are like my favorite quad and hamstring curls in the area. And they're both Life Fitness. But yet, if we go to Planet and use the yellow Life Fitness quad extension, it sucks. Hate it. One of the worst ones on my knees. Same thing for the yellow Life Fitness hamstring curl there, Planet, in the 30-minute area. Trash. Whatever they did differently between the model Cuba has and the model Planet bought, terrible. Absolute freaking trash. But then you have the purple ones in the main weight training area. Second favorite quad extension. Behind Cuba's red Life Fitness. The hamstring curl, it's a seated hamstring curl. One of the only ones in the area, because almost every other gym in the area has a lying hamstring curl machine. So it's like, that machine is freaking phenomenal too, and it's kind of biased because I prefer a seated hamstring curl over a lying. So I kind of prefer that machine over any hamstring curl in the area. But in terms of lying, Cuba's is still like the best lying hamstring curl in the area, and I love that machine. So it's like, Life Fitness is a good brand if you buy the right equipment, if you buy the right model of the equipment. But that being said, why are we slamming on the brakes on the interstate, dude? Come on. But that being said, Planet earns its slack. I do not think that slack is deserved for its equipment, though. Like, in terms of equipment, if you've ever been to a Planet, they do have a good equipment selection and I genuinely love the equipment that they've selected. As I said, that's one of my favorite preacher curl machines. That the seated bicep curl machine is one of my favorite bicep machines, period, other than just doing the free weight version of that exercise. The stretch is phenomenal. It gets heavier at the top, so squeezing at the peak feels freaking insane. Like, I genuinely love that machine. I do not say that lightly. That back machine that we finished on, the last row that we did, is genuinely my favorite row. And normally, I am way bigger on chest support row machines, just like in terms of like what I prefer. But there's just something about that machine in particular that I like a lot. And I think it's just, it basically is a machine version of a cable row. And I'm not the biggest fan of cable rows, but that machine feels so freaking good. Like, I get such a big stretch using it at the top of the motion, and then like I can lean back a little bit and get a really good squeeze. And because those handles kind of come out to the side, I'm able to like squeeze and just get a phenomenal freaking back pump on that machine that realistically I'm not typically getting on like a normal cable row outside of what we did today with the single arm using the D handles. So like, it is definitely my favorite variation of doing a cable row, and that makes it one of my favorite row machines. That being said, we didn't use it today, but they do have another row machine. It's their chest supported, and just like the pull down machine that we used, and just about any machine in the main lifting area, the handles are set up to their own pulleys, making it, I think it's bilateral is the right word, but then I always want to say unilateral, because you can utilize, I don't know if I'm using the right word, is what I'm getting at. But the simple fact is you can do like isolation. You can use one handle at a time instead of doing both, and it's phenomenal, right? And so I really like that one because I can eat. If you've ever been to a Planet, or if you go to the previous videos on the channel where we used to gym at this particular Planet, the seat is adjustable in terms of height, right? Pretty standard. The chest pad is adjustable in terms of how far up it comes, which determines how far away you are from the handles. So I personally like to set it pretty far back, up against me. So I literally have to stand up and reach around to grab the handle. And when I sit down, the weight, the stack is not touching, and the time under tension is just constant. And I love that about that machine. And it feels good both unilateral, just single, and with both arms. That machine is probably, in my opinion, unmatched in terms of the quality of a chest support row. It is phenomenal. Love that machine. No complaints. So I'm going to sit here and stop yapping about how much I love the machines at the gym, or we'll be here all day, because genuinely, I think they do have a great selection. There are some I don't like. There are a lot I do like. There's some I wish they had that they don't, but that's neither here nor there. Love that gym. Love the selection of machines. It's good to be back. Do I wish I was at maybe any other gym with that kind of selection of machines? Probably, just because I don't like having to feel like I'm restraining myself my entire workout, not dropping the weights, not grunting, not doing this, not doing that, because it's a Planet, but instead just being able to go hard. But ultimately, I am still training hard. I am still training intense. I'm just really, really hyper fixated on, no matter how much this is killing me right now, massive pump, completely exhausted, trying not to grunt. Do not drop this weight. Do not grunt super loud like a freaking ape. As hard as it is not to let that caveman side of your mind just go wild while you're hitting a heavy set, don't do it. You're at a Planet, and it's frowned upon. Even though that Planet literally never uses the freaking lunk alarm, that's always in the back of my head, trying to be as respectful of their rules as I can. But that being said, It's a great gym, and we had a freaking phenomenal workout. I hate that Brandon missed. I think that's the only thing I hated about today's workout, is that for whatever reason, Brandon set up his oil change like an hour away. So the town we're leaving, that Planet Fitness is the town Brandon works in, at the Walmart he works at. Instead, so this town is about 40 minutes away from where he lives. The town he took the oil change to is also 40 minutes away in the opposite direction. So he would have like almost an hour-long drive down the interstate or close to it to go from where he chose to do his oil change to the Planet Fitness we were just at. And I was like, why did you do that? Like, even if, like, for whatever reason, today was the only day he could set up his oil change. Whatever, that's fine. I get getting oil changes for Walmart. I do it too. They're super cheap, especially when you have a smaller car that doesn't hold as much oil. It makes way more sense than going anywhere else. That being said, why in God's green earth did you just set it up at the Walmart in this city, the one you work at too? So those should be people. Maybe that's why he doesn't trust him with his car. But it's like, you work at that Walmart, and it's 1 minute away from the gym. We go. You either do the oil change and then meet me at the Planet, or you drop your car for the oil change. I will meet you there. I will drive us both to Planet. We'll hit the workout, and I'll drop you back off at your car. Like, literally, either one would have been fine. And for whatever reason, he set up his oil change all the way up in a different city, and then was like, we can just gym afterwards. I'm like, Brandon, it is Sunday. I have church and everything else. Planet closes at 8 or 9 o'clock at night on Sundays. There will be no time to get the 40-minute drive from church to the gym. They're going to be, we're going to have to rush for the workout. They're going to close before we're actually done. So I was just like, come on, man. Like, why'd you do that? He's like, just gym without me. I'm going to take Dad with me to the oil change so he can get out of the house for a little bit. So it'll be fine. I'll hit chest with you tomorrow. And it's like, yeah, okay, whatever, sure. But it was just a very strange choice. I was like, why are you the way you are, sir? Why did you do that in particular? That's my one and only question. So it's like, why did you set up your oil change on the opposite side of the state, pretty much? Literally, I point in this direction. We're going over here, and Brandon's like, that way! That's where my oil change needs to be. I'm as close to the gym as I possibly could be. But it is what it is. There's that frustration, especially as I do train him. As much as we are gym partners and we work out together, it very much is I am also kind of just his personal trainer. Yes, we work out together, but I am training him. He looks to me for the workouts. He looks to me for his form and everything. And he's even talked about hey, one day maybe when I have the money to, I'll pay you for all these workouts. I told him, don't worry about it, because at the end of the day, I enjoy having my best friend as my gym partner. I could care less if I'm technically training you for free. And so I just hate when he misses, but I also hate missing because he did something that made no sense, and now he's not joining. I already hate that we added a rest day in as much as we needed, because at the end of the day, we're getting older. The rest day is kind of required at some point. As much as I hate taking any time off at the gym, a rest day was needed to be added into the rotation. But I'm not also gonna miss just because he texts me and says, "Hey, without me, I'm eating a hamburger." And I kid you not, that is an actual excuse. I'll be like, "Hey, time to gym," it's our normal time that it always is. It never changes. And he'll just be like, "I'm eating a cheeseburger right now. Hit without me." I'm like, "I can wait until you're done." Nah, I'm gonna be full after that. Hit without. It's like, dude, what? Why? So it's what it is. He's a bit of a strange one sometimes, but I love the guy to that. He is truly my brother from another mother. He's my best friend. He's my gym partner. But it is just a smidge frustrating. It's just like, dude, you know how Sundays work. You know when we gym. We literally talked about it yesterday. That I was going to go to church, pick you up, take you to Planet with me. No word that he had an oil change set up. No word at all. But is what is. Enough yapping about that. Enough complaining about that. You guys don't come to the channel to listen to me complain about things. If you wanted to listen to someone complain about things, you'd watch a female work out, not a guy. So, all that being said, jokes aside, sorry, ladies, don't unsubscribe, or do. I can't control you. Nor should anybody. That being said, I want to appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch the video. As always, go down to the link in the description and make a donation to Make-A-Wish and help change a child's life and help grant a wish this year for Wishmas. But ultimately, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll see you tomorrow for Chest and Tripod. See you then.